great scholarship information that we're going to be talking about. So before we get started on the slides that Mrs. Craig had up, our virtual field trip next week is to City Lights Cinemas, so join us for that one. And then we have a super special virtual field trip the following week. We are actually doing one on Wednesday, March 17th. So just remember, St. Patrick's Day. So it's a Wednesday instead of the normal Thursday. That is when we are collaborating with the Eugene School District. And we are going to be meeting live with Carrie Newell, marine biologist, whale whisperer, and author. Most of you know who she is. That will be Wednesday the 17th, and then the following that Thursday, March 18th, we're going to hop on this regular Google Meet link, and we will do a recap in case anyone didn't make it to the Wednesday session. And we're also doing a fabulous makerspace gray whale migration kit. So we're going to be making a baby gray whale and a mama gray whale, and we're going to swim them up and down the migration route. Okay, without further ado, I will flip my camera around and I will allow Dean Russ Pearson to introduce himself. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Dr. Russ. It's great to meet you. Glad to have you here today. I wish you were here in the real world, but this works really well. Thanks to Jen and to everyone watching. I'm happy you're here at LCC today, right here.
Yeah, so we have the most beautiful little campus right here in town, Lane Community College. I know that this hub is connected to a larger system. Do you want to start out by just telling us about Lane Community College, the system?
Sure. Lane Community College got started in the mid-'60s. And from the very beginning, there was a Florence representative on the Board of Education. In fact, Dr. Albert J. Brower, who recently passed, I'm sad to say. But he was on that original board of education, and it was his vision to have something over here in Florence. So we're part of Lane County, we're part of the Lane Community College District, and it's at least an hour's drive between our campuses, and that was important to him. So he and Al Owens, who was the first director here at the Florence Center, started this. This building that we're in right now was built in the mid-'70s. We have another building we'll visit too, and that was built in the mid-'90s. There's a couple of buildings, each roughly 20,000 square feet or so, and it serves us well. It's kind of morphed a little over the years, but here it is. It's great.
Yeah, and so I was asking you the other day about how many students do we serve at this facility every year?
Yeah, so this has been an odd year, of course, COVID. I think I'm literally the only staff person here at the moment. It's always that way during this COVID year, but it does happen that way sometimes. So we don't have any face-to-face classes happening, except for some one-on-one teaching that's going on with our ABSE Adult Basic Skills Education, GED, and English as a second language students. There's a little bit of that going on. And we have a couple of our instructors who come in who work on the continuing education side, which are kind of adult education classes, especially fitness classes. They've been coming in and broadcasting via Zoom from our campus out into the community as well. But in a normal year, we usually have about 1,000 people that are coming into our classes. About 2/3 of those are the continuing education population, which tends to be a little older. And then about 1/3, so 300 or so credit students that come here.
That's wonderful. And I love right when you walk in, you see these screens everywhere, but they have a really great screen that's showing you all the classes that are being taught today.
Yes.
So you may not be able to read it, but today at Lane Community College, virtually, we have yoga, easy yoga, ABS, that's virtual, a GDE class, that's virtual, and then Intro to Probability and Statistics, everyone's favorite class, virtually this afternoon.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and those are just Florence sponsored classes. Right now, because of COVID, our students can take any LCC class without having to go to main campus because everything's virtual or online or remote in some way.
So it's kind of a shared network of classes. I got a couple of degrees in the Fargo-Moorhead area, and we were able to attend University of North Dakota, Minnesota State Moorhead, Minnesota State University Moorhead, and Concordia College. If you were enrolled in one, you could literally attend classes at all three. It was fabulous.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's a similar arrangement we got going right now with our campuses. So it's great.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and start our tour, but in just 1 second, because as we were chatting and I was talking about our virtual field trip with Carrie Newell, Dr. Russ said Carrie actually taught for Lane Community College. She knows her well. Do you want to say just a little bit about her?
I would love to. So when I first came, we weren't offering any marine biology classes, and LCC has marine biology classes, but they had been taught in Eugene. I thought this was ridiculous. We're in Florence, we're on the coast. We need some marine biology classes. So we contacted Carrie, and she was delighted to come teach for us. Her classes were very well received. Our students loved her. She retired, even though she's still very young. She retired from LCC just a couple years ago, but the community loves her. Our students love her. She's an excellent teacher.
She is such a fabulous teacher.
She's got lots of wonderful stories to tell you. I won't spoil the stories, but yeah, what a background she has.
She is so passionate for what she does, and it comes out in her teaching.
Yes, she is a gray whale expert that knows lots about all the other flora and fauna on the coast here too.
All right, well, I think we're ready to start doing a walk around. Now, students, as you know, sometimes on the cell phone when we walk around, things might get fuzzy. And our library assistants, we have MB down on the line, and this is Craig on the line. They will just let us know if we're fuzzy and just holler at us if we need to slow down or stop. So
perfect.
All right, so where are we heading first?
Well, let's go this way, and then we'll go that way, I guess.
Okay. This is such a beautiful little building.
It works well. So this always feels weird to me right now without a bunch of bodies in the campus.
Yeah.
And some of these rooms haven't been inhabited for a while now.
We know what that's like in Siuslaw.
So this is our old but still in use testing center.
Okay.
So a lot of our students, they might take a mix of classes that we teach here on site, but they also might be taking some classes virtually from our Eugene campus. And if they're the sorts of classes that need proctored tests where somebody's kind of watching, then they come here. We have a couple cameras. We can watch and make sure that everything's kosher, and they can get their test done here. So, during normal years, we usually have some nursing students that are
lots of testing for nursing.
Yes, and they've gone through their classes here in Florence, but then they are taking nursing classes from Eugene. So they have lots of testing to do, and they're able to do it here without having to travel to Eugene.
That is such a fabulous service, because I have, with teaching, the same thing goes. You're always taking different tests, and I have had to travel hours to go to a testing center or whatnot. So that's wonderful. All right.
So, and then I guess you could poke your
camera
over that.
Oh, there is I thought there was a person in there.
Looks like a person. We have a room tour. I'd love to surprise you.
I'm trying to get in there. Can you see that person, the mummy, or not the mummy? What am I talking about? So is this like a little clinical area for nursing students?
Yeah, so when we do CNA,
the patients, what do you call the dummy patients?
Sim patients.
Sim patients, there we go.
So we've got a couple of sim patients and beds back there. We haven't offered CNA 1 for a while here. We've offered CNA 2. Okay. But we're actually talking to Peace Health, Peace Harbor about kicking in some nursing classes.
Absolutely. I mean, we always have a shortage of nurses, and we have a beautiful medical system in town. So there must absolutely be a need. So that's wonderful that we can grow nurses in the city of Florence.
Indeed.
Perfect.
So let's see. Well, I'm not sure I unlocked this room, but I want to show you our science classroom, science lab, and actually this was Carrie's domain.
Oh yay! I'm so excited. Amy Page, the Eugene District Teacher Librarian, and I are actually meeting Carrie this Saturday to see if we can get any whale footage. We have to pre-record our virtual field trip footage on occasion when we don't have Wi-Fi access like out on the ocean.
Good point. So my step one, Dr. Bones here.
Oh, there we go.
Running our faucets occasionally involve there's a building water safe and sanitized.
That makes sense. Well, this is a great little lab classroom.
So we've got individual stations where you can do some experiments. Eye wash in case something happens. That is a fan that allows you to
do
deal with
your
chemicals and things like that while still staying small and everything. Imagine outside.
I was a clinical lab science major before I became an English major. I understand that hood fan very well.
You know more about this than I do.
Well, you just definitely want to be using it when you're working with chemicals.
Yeah, yep. So now, weirdly, I'll tell you a fun fact. I've had 2 or 3 careers over the course of my life, and one of them was as a construction manager for a commercial construction firm. One of the last projects that we did, based in Eugene, before I switched to education, was in fact as the construction project manager for this project, the science classroom.
Oh,
edition.
What a wonderful connection to this building.
So it was really, really fun and satisfying to come back a few years later as dean of the Florence Center.
Hey, I know we're in the midst of our tour and we're walking and talking. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how one becomes a dean, like the educational path for that?
Sure. Well, one of the great things is there is like a usual path, but I took a very unusual path. So right out of college, I was interested in education. I started a grad program, a master's program. It was back, you see this gray hair here. This was back before there was online. And I mean, there was online, but yeah, like AOL.
Right.
With
Yeah.
the fax things. And so I traveled up to Portland from Eugene once a week for a year and got some of my master's classes done. But then we got married, we had kids, and I didn't get back.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was in the nonprofit world for about 15 years or so. And left that to go into the construction management. And left that. Actually, this was the last project I was involved in, this science classroom project. And that was about end of 2009, early 2010. My wife and I talked. We decided I'd go back to school. Great recession hit, so commercial construction kind of died off. So I actually took a couple of LCC classes. I was an official displaced construction worker and took a couple of LCC classes. You know, it's been like 25 years since I've been in school. Do I even have what it takes to be a college student still? And it was a good experience. I felt energized and excited about it. So then I went back, finished my master's degree, got a job at LCC in facilities management, not on the academic side at that time. Finished the master's, completed a doctoral degree. And then after I had that, I thought, well, it'd be fun to be on the academic side now that I've got a doctoral. And that's how I wound up being able to qualify for this position.
What a lovely interconnected story. Like I'm just seeing all these circles.
The construction experience kind of helped because we're far enough from main campus that we have to do a lot of things on our own. If the building breaks, we got to fix it. So
yeah, you're a jack of all trades.
There you go. That's
what is your doctoral degree in?
It's a Doctor of Ministry from George Fox University, Global Leadership.
Okay, lovely. Yeah. And I was wondering if you had to drive to Eugene or if you did that virtually, and it sounds like you did. Did you do some classes or most of it virtually?
Yeah, that was interesting too. So that was, like I said, it's been 10, 12 years ago now. But that particular program, they had just launched it at George Fox, and it was almost all online. Once a year, we traveled together as a cohort, and it was a real international cohort. We went to Europe one year, to the UK and Germany. We went to Africa one year, to Kenya and Ethiopia. And we went to Hong Kong.
Okay. What fabulous global life experiences.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. But that did give me a lot of experience with dealing with online, having some understanding what our students go through here remotely if they have to take online classes.
All right. Well, what classroom should we head to next?
Well, let's go. How much time do we have?
We still have 15 minutes left. Hey, students, we are going to wrap up promptly at 2:25 for questions and answers, and then Ms. McKenzie has to be out the door at 2:30 for another appointment. We will play the read aloud. Mrs. Craig will play that at the end. All right. So, Mrs. Craig, again, let us know if we get fuzzy, because we're kind of heading into another section of the building. But look at this space.
Yeah, so this is our fitness center. So we do lots of fitness classes, dance classes, Tai Chi, yoga. We have some other kinds of equipment, stretching, ballet bars. It's a very versatile space.
Yeah.
So it works really well. What's wrong?
No, it's great. I love it.
And you can see we have a couple of built in.
Got it.
So instructors can come in and their scheduled classes, just touch it, bam, they're connected. And they can Zoom with their classes.
That's
We've
fabulous.
got a Tai Chi instructor and a yoga instructor.
That's wonderful. All right. Beautiful facilities.
Yeah.
Hey, while we're walking to the next place, Mrs. Craig, do you want to say something about your experience at Lane Community College, your family's experience?
Oh, please.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm an LCC girl, and I went to this campus, and I lived in Eugene for a couple of years and took a couple of courses over there as well. And both of my boys went into music technology and diesel technology over in Eugene. And my youngest son, when he was done with those courses, spent a year over here, or I should say a season over here, as he was offered a scholarship to take courses in Florence.
Well, that's
Wonderful. This is such a fabulous, I love this community, and I love our school system, and I love that we have Lane right down the road too. Okay, thanks so much for sharing, Mrs. Craig. All right, where are we going next?
Let's go to 103.
Room 103. Ooh, this is a nice space. I would want to teach here.
Yes. So this is our biggest classroom. It's pretty versatile. These tables are easy to move. The chairs are on wheels.
Flexible seating is all the rage.
We have a larger remote unit there, kind of like that. That's our desk. So we've got a projector and we can broadcast via Apple TV. It's a very versatile space. We use it a lot for larger group settings when it's not COVID.
Yeah.
Might have a big party in here, for example.
Gatherings and events and that
Yes,
kind of stuff.
Exactly, and we can overflow into that other space. And it has this nice high ceiling, so you don't feel all hemmed in.
Yeah, no, I love the physical space of this building. It's really lovely.
Yeah. It's a great place to.
Yeah.
What else I want to show you here? Well, you can see our periodic table of the elements. We have some science classes in here as well.
Got it. Okay.
So we also, in addition to our credit classes, we have some non-credit classes. So you see, somebody's teaching acupressure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and if one wants to enroll in Lane Community College or sign up for those non-credit type classes, what's the easiest path to do that?
So a couple things. When it's the non-credit classes, every quarter we send out a fairly nice-looking 8.5 by 11 pamphlet that is in the Siuslaw News. And usually they have a little thing at the on the front page that says LCC catalog.
I love that. I love this town and how interconnected everyone is.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's awesome. So that's a good way to see what the classes are, get a description, understand the pricing. They're pretty inexpensive, pretty reasonable. And then also everything is online, of course, on our website. For the continuing ed classes, it's a pretty simple URL. It's lanecc.edu/CE.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that makes it easy.
Yeah. All right. I wonder if do we want to say something about scholarships now? I'm looking, it's like 2:20. We still have some time.
Sure.
And I do see, it looks like maybe one of our high schoolers has a hand raised, and there might be more that I don't see, Mrs. Craig. But why don't we go ahead and mention the two scholarship opportunities that you shared with me?
Yes. So we offer an environmental services course. We've got it in two versions. So environmental services in the healthcare setting, it's like people who know how to clean and disinfect and sanitize in a very professional, medically safe way. So they know how to deal with bloodborne pathogens, with sharps. They know what products to use to clean up different kinds of medical messes and other kinds of messes as well. And so we offer a course. It's an 18-hour course. It is both certified by the Higher Education Coordinating Commission in Oregon. And it's also certified by BOLI, the Bureau of Labor and Industries. And that means you get a, what's the right term? Pre-apprenticeship.
Okay.
It's actually the only course in the state of Oregon that is currently offered by a community college that gets you a pre-apprenticeship certificate.
Okay.
And we're still trying to make good connections and inroads into some of our healthcare partners, like Peace Harbor, Peace Health, to find ways for students to get those apprenticeship opportunities. But that gives you that possibility, that opportunity. And that course I mentioned, it's 18 hours. That's you have 2 weeks to finish it, those 18 hours of instruction. And a lot of people are able to complete it faster than the 18 hours. It's
Right.
probably like 15, 14 hours of material, depending on how fast you are. Then we have a non-healthcare version that we call the Environmental Services Quick Course. And it's meant to be 6 to 8 hours of instruction. Again, variable depending on you'll need to sit down at a computer for any length of time. And both of these are entirely online and self-paced. You have an instructor available if and when you need them. And that course is aimed toward our local restaurants, hospitality sector, the hotels, retail, all the restaurants down in Old Town and Uptown and everywhere else in town, around Mapleton and our region. And currently, for either of those courses, that are usually between $79 and $249, depending on which of those classes is the usual cost.
Okay.
And the city of Florence is currently offering entirely all paid for scholarships for either version of those courses. I'm not sure how long that's in effect, but by all means, you should look that up. And the best place to look, because of the connection to the City of Florence, is the City of Florence website.
Okay.
On the economic development page. And in fact, I think they have a banner right on the City of Florence main page.
All right.
They've got a scholarship application there. And again, you can take either and both of these classes entirely for free.
I think I saw several of our older students from the middle school and high school join. So we will make sure to email that information out and direct links, because you can never turn down free college money. And I will tell you, from the library perspective, when I first became a librarian, I didn't even realize that part of my job was, one of the services that librarians provide is financial education. So we do reading, advocacy, info lit, digital citizenship, technology integration, but also financial literacy. And like, if you go to the public library, they always have help filling out your taxes and getting access to tech to help you financially. And I am a student myself whom came from a family without a lot of resources. And I got my entire way through college with scholarships. So academic scholarships and then some military money, because I was in the Army for 12 years. But I was able, and I was in college for a long time because I just loved it and I picked up a bunch of degrees. But I will tell you, after 9 years of doing undergrad and graduate work, I walked out the door with zero debt, which is financial freedom or financial literacy is a form of health. Like there's a thing called financial health, and it is healthy for us to take control of our finances. And the more financially healthy you are, the more options you have in life, students. So anytime you hear free scholarship money,
yes,
you got to grab it.
The word grant, the word scholarship, that means free money for college.
Yes.
There are lots of great scholarships available and grants in our community. Rotary does an excellent job. Kiwanis or Optimus, PEO, all these groups offer scholarships. Let's keep walking.
Yeah, it may even be time to kind of prop my little tripod up and like turn it over for questions and answers.
Sure. Yeah,
if you're willing to do that right now. Okay, so apologies as I'm getting my little tripod in position here. And let's flip the camera around. There we are.
Hello.
All right, so so again, we're gonna roll into the read aloud in about 5 minutes. So Mrs. Craig, do you want to check for some hands raised and start calling on some names right now?
Sure. Colin Leland has a question.
Hi, Colin.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm good. My question is, by the way, I'm a senior in high school, and my question is about the applications. Do I go into LCC to get the applications, or do I go to a website and do it that way?
Great question. So right now, all of our campuses, it's pretty tough to get in. We're more or less closed to the public because of COVID. We'll probably be opening up more and more as time goes on. A little bit more summer term, and we hope to be open in a normal kind of way by fall term. But right now, the best way, and it's probably the easiest way too, if you have good access to a computer and internet, is online. So if you go to our homepage, which is Lane CC, like Lane Community College, lanecc.edu, like education, edu. Right on that homepage, you'll see a banner that says click here if you're interested in admissions and enrolling, finding out more. You can see our entire catalog of classes online. You can make an appointment with an advisor. You can speak to a financial aid counselor. So all of that is available online. And if you need help, feel free to call us here at the Florence Center because we really want to serve our Florence area residents. And we can help connect you to folks on that you'll be talking to online.
And I also have some handouts. I will make copies and have them available in our virtual classroom for the field trips, and I'll find the link and put it in the virtual classroom as well. So we'll make sure everyone has access.
And Colin, you'll want to know this one here. We have an exciting announcement. The class of 21 and the class of 22. So high school juniors and seniors, you can take an entirely free class from LCC, either spring term or summer term, if you want to. And there is a website, let's see, it's lanecc.edu/tuition-free course. All run together like one big long word, tuition.
Cool, yeah.
And you can find out more there, but that is available as a special benefit to our local juniors and seniors right now. Just something we want to do.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Colin. I hate to cut it short. We probably have time for like one more. How many hands are raised, Mrs. Craig?
There's 2 more.
Okay, let's take both questions, and we'll try to keep them a little short just because I have to run out the door to another appointment. So go ahead.
Angel Harris.
Angel, hi Angel.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. What's your question?
Well, when can you go to high school?
What was that? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you.
When can you go to high school?
When can you go to high school? I'm not sure I understand the question. Can you help me, Ms. McKenzie?
Yeah, are you just asking like how to get to college? Like what are the steps to get to college?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, here, you know what I forgot to do at the very beginning of the virtual tour? Here, I'm going to stand like this. I was going to have everybody pretend they were standing at the district office facing north on Oak Avenue? Oak Street. And I was going to say, hey, everybody, lean to the right and look at your future, because Siuslaw School District is set up in such a unique situation in that we have all of our school buildings down the same street. So you
even in the right order.
Yeah, you can literally look down and see your future. So you'll finish up your career at the elementary school and then head on down to the middle school and then head on down to the high school. And then if you want to, you can continue on down to Lane Community College as well. Yeah. So it's very unique.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. I feel like we
Okay,
have
one
so
more
much
question by Lily Leland.
Hello.
Hi, I was just wondering, do you have summer programs?
We do. They probably won't be very robust this coming summer, again, because of COVID. But we usually do have summer programs. And as I mentioned, if you're a junior or senior,
So you have to be a junior senior, right?
that's for this free class. So LCC is offering a special free class opportunity. Any class you want, it's up to almost a $500 value, actually, if you are a junior or senior. We'll probably do that again. I think it's something the community will be excited about. I bet we do it again next year, too. But yes, we do offer some summer programs. We also try to cooperate with some of the other groups in town that offer summer programs, like Boys and Girls Club and the Aircraft Academy, some of those kinds of things as well.
And also, I was just wondering, if I could, somehow, I'm not sure how, but, take, courses, even if I don't go to Lane Community College, for, other college, another college, so I can, get the credits out of the way.
Yes, you can transfer, absolutely. A lot of students do that. We're a community college, so most of our programs, even if you went for as long as you could, they're just 2 years long. And a lot of folks then go on to a 4-year college. They save a lot of money, and all of our instructors are usually, masters or PhDs. They're not just student teachers, which a lot of big universities, those first couple of years, are getting student teachers. Yes.
At 2 colleges.
There you go. And they're not bad.
Yeah, I know. They just don't have the advanced degrees.
Yes. Yeah, and they're usually Lane's classes are smaller. A lot of folks really like the community college environment.
Yeah, Lily, you get started on some credits even before you graduate high school.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wanted to start doing that.
And at the high school, we have college now classes. You can get free credit while you're taking high school classes. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us again, Lily. Hey, so everyone, I do have to turn it over to Mrs. Craig to play our read aloud. It is Women's History Month. So the read aloud is She Persisted. And thank you all for joining us again. We have all the recordings from our virtual field trips. I'm going to post those on our website for anyone who didn't make this trip. And join us again next week for City Light Cinema and the following week so we can meet up with Carrie Newell. It's going to be so fabulous. All right, so we're going to wave goodbye to Dr. Russ.
Thank you all.
And we'll see you all next week. And stay on the line to read, to participate in She Persisted. It's such a fabulous book, and the illustrations are gorgeous. So I'll see you next week, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, it's Ms. McKenzie, your K-12 District Teacher Librarian, and this week's Read Aloud for our virtual field trip is celebrating Women's History Month. So we're going to read She Persisted by Chelsea Clinton, and it's illustrated by Alexandra Voyager. So stay tuned. Okay, so here we go. She Persisted, 13 American Women Who Changed the World. I love the illustrations in this book. They're gorgeous. It is worth half an ER point, so get your AR in, everyone. It says, inspired by Senator Elizabeth Warren and in celebration of all women who persist every day. To some heroines of mine, Coretta Scott King, Sophie Skoll, and my mother, Berta Boyer. Those pretty illustrations. Okay, sometimes being a girl isn't easy. At some point, someone will probably tell you no, will tell you to be quiet, and may even tell you your dreams are impossible. Don't listen to them. These 13 American women certainly did not take no for an answer. They persisted. Okay? Harriet Tubman was once a slave, and her story could have ended there. Instead, she persisted, escaping from slavery and becoming the most famous conductor on the Underground Railroad. She risked her life many times to lead countless slaves to freedom, including her friends, family, and strangers. Every person she led to freedom, and I've seen. I should fight for my liberty as long as my strength lasted. Oops, sorry, a little glare from the light there. Helen Keller became blind and deaf as a toddler. Few people thought she'd be able to learn to read, write, or speak, but she persisted. Helen learned how to do all three and not only became the first person with deaf blindness to graduate from college, but she used her story to help fight for more opportunities for people with disabilities in the United States and around the world. One can never consent to create when one feels an impulse to soar. Okay. After her family fled poverty and the threat of violence in Ukraine for a new home in New York City, Clara Lemlich got a job working at a garment factory. She wrote that factory conditions made women into machines, and so she persisted, organizing picket lines and strikes that ultimately helped win better pay, shorter hours, and safer working conditions for thousands of workers, both men and women. I am one of those who suffers from the abuses described here, and I move that we go on until the strike. Okay, Nellie Bly became a reporter in part because a male writer had said that working women were a monstrosity, and she wanted to prove that women could do anything, at times putting her safety at risk. She persisted throughout her career in exposing real monstrosities, pretending to be a sweatshop worker and a patient in a mental hospital to show how badly people were being treated. Interesting. I have never written a word that did not come from my heart. I never shall. Okay. Inspired from an early age by her brother's childhood illnesses, Virginia Apgar was determined to be a doctor long before many girls had such dreams. Even though she qualified to be a surgeon, the male head surgeon at her hospital discouraged her because she was a woman. Nevertheless, she persisted, becoming an anesthesiologist and creating the Apgar score to test a newborn baby's health, which hospitals all over the world still use today. Nobody but nobody is going to stop the movie. Oh, pretty. After Maria Talchi, her family moved to California, partly to support Maria's dream of becoming a dancer. She was teased by students in school for her Native American heritage, and later was encouraged to change her last name to something that sounded Russian, since many professional dancers at the time were from Russia. She persisted, ignoring all the taunting and poor advice, to become the first great American female ballerina. It never occurred to me to say, it hurts to do that. Okay. Claudia Coleman, as a 15-year-old girl riding a bus home from school in Montgomery, Alabama, she was expected to give up her seat to a white woman just because she was African American. In her refusal to get up, she persisted in taking a stand for what's right, helping to inspire Rosa Parks to make the same choice 9 months later. An act many point to as a starting point in the modern civil rights movement. I knew then, and I know now, that when it comes to justice, there's no easy way to get it. You can't sugarcoat it. You have to take a stand and say, This was not right. I love the quotes in here. They're great. Bridges. When she was in kindergarten, many schools across America, particularly in the South, still refused African American students their equal rights to an education, where we wouldn't be treated like a second-class citizen. And she persisted, walking for weeks past angry, hateful protesters to integrate an all-white elementary school in New Orleans. That fateful walk to school began a journey, and we all must work together to continue moving forward. As the first woman to serve as both a U.S. representative and a U.S. senator, Margaret Chase Smith could have let that fact alone be her legacy. Instead, she persisted in championing women's rights and more opportunities for women in the military, standing up for free speech and supporting space exploration. The head of NASA once noted that we wouldn't have put a man on the moon without Margaret. The right way is not always the popular and easy way. Standing for what's right when it is unpopular is a true test of moral character. I agree. All right. Sally Ride always believed women could succeed in any math or science career. Although not everyone agreed, she persisted and became the first American woman in space. But that wasn't enough for Sally. She traveled into space once more and then created science and engineering programs specifically for girls so she could help generations of young women achieve their dreams too, both on Earth and in outer space. Young girls need to see role models in whatever careers they may choose, just so they can picture themselves doing these jobs someday. You can't be what you can't see. How true is that? All right. When, as a kid, Florence Griffith Joyner visited her father in the Mojave Desert, he would urge her to run faster and faster, to run as fast as a jackrabbit. Even when she had to leave college to help support her family, she persisted in her training on the track, then went back to school and got faster and faster. Her unbroken world records in the 100-meter and 200-meter sprints set at the 1988 Summer Olympics mean she is still the fastest woman ever. When anyone tells me I can't do anything, I'm just not listening anymore. Okay. Oprah Winfrey's grandmother expected Oprah to follow in her footsteps and become a name. Oprah knew, even as a little girl, that her dreams would take her somewhere else. She persisted in turning those dreams into reality and became a media superstar, working in movies, books, magazines, theater, and most of all, television, where the Oprah Winfrey Show remains the highest rated talk show of all time. And it's hard to see the glare, but the biggest adventure you can ever take is to lead the life of your dreams. Oh, here we go. Let's use the glare again. Watching fictional judges on television inspired Sonia Sotomayor to want to be a real-life judge when she grew up. She knew she'd have to speak English as well as she spoke Spanish, study hard in school, and manage her diabetes before she could one day wear a judge's robe with a gavel in hand. She persisted, eventually becoming a Supreme Court justice and the first ever Latina to sit on America's highest court. Her quote is, "I have never had to face anything that could overwhelm the native optimism and stubborn perseverance I was blessed with." Love that. So, if anyone ever tells you no, if anyone ever says your voice isn't important or your dreams are too big, remember these women. They persisted, and so should you. I love that book. I can tell all the stories I can tell about being a woman in the military. And just remember, March we celebrate Women's History Month, and it is also Read Across America Week, where we celebrate a nation of diverse readers. So take the AR test on this book, and thank you.
Okay, that was a wonderful book. I really liked that. I hope you feel inspired by that too, that you can do anything if you persist. So thank you guys for coming. Awesome. I will see you later. I'll see you on the next field trip, okay? Bye.